All right, all right. Welcome back to the Military Retirement Podcast. I'm so used to saying that.
Green Retirement Military Podcast.
The Green
Welcome back.
Retirement, the Military Retirement Podcast. My bad, dude. So yeah, we're just kind of holding off and waiting on our guest to show up. Hopefully he does, and we can talk a little bit about rebuilding military history, which I'm going to be switching up a couple of those titles here on the channel. But it's always fun when life throws you for a little bit of a loop, and you don't. You got to adjust. That's what we do.
That's what we do. Yeah, and that's why we do it live, so you guys can see all of our mess ups, all of our screw ups, all of our fuck ups, all of our.
It's so fun though. It's so fun.
Put it out there in public, man. Just be open and honest and transparent about it, and we'll show you we're not perfect. We're not. We don't have a production company and like people in the background showing us cue cards and shit. We're just up here doing our thing, trying to get some information out to vets, trying to help build the community, build it bigger and better, get people across the finish line so they can get into civilian life and get started with the next chapter.
Yeah. Shout out to Navy Cop for the Green Retirement Military Logbook. All the words, just all the words.
Done.
Right?
Done. We're changing everything. Rebrand everything.
Yep. Again. Oh man. So while I edit, I'm going to edit the names on these things on the live stream, right?
Do it live.
Let me see here. Yeah. It says, what is he saying? YouTube spun up 4 stream links for you. Why did they do that?
Because 4 times the fun, man.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm looking at it here. So I don't know, pick one, I guess. Pick the one in the middle. That's the best. That's the best case scenario. You got 3, you got 4, just pick the one in the middle and you're fine. You'll hit it.
October 2025 vets. That means you retired in October 2025? Just curious. Let us know in the comments.
That's the date he started following us, I think. He subscribed on October 2025, so he made that his whole persona.
Nice. Live on only first 2. Oh, that's good. At least we're live on a couple of them. Yep, retired. Awesome. Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. It's maybe we need to, because I'm trying to stream it on here as well. Man, that might be something we talk to these folks about.
I'll tell you what happened. I pushed a button on YouTube, and then when we started to go live, everything went crazy. And next button I push will explode the internet. Ready?
Unsatisfactory. Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Don't make me push it.
Let me go on this live here real quick and then see what shows up. I'm very curious now. Live on the first 2, right? Oh, there we go. I hear myself talking. Yeah, so you can see what the live looks like because we do this in real time. There's just like John said, you have all our mess ups and all that, so that's fun.
Tatiana, hello Tatiana, hello Andres
Munoz, Tatiana Pujol. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday where you can save 50 pounds per person. That's 200 pounds off for a family of 4. That thing is I don't know how that thing came about, man. That Jet 2 holiday thing. Let me update these video details.
Yeah. And while you're updating, I'll let everybody know why we're here. We're here to talk about veterans things. We're talking about current events in veterans affairs and veteran things going on in the veteran community, trying to bring good information to the masses to get you across the finish line. If you're getting ready to retire, getting ready to ETS, or even PCS. I mean, some of the things we talk about help in PCS as well. But ETS and retirement, if you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life when you grow up after you get out of the military, we are here to help. And not only are we here to help, we actually wrote a nice little book that encapsulates 10 short chapters that has a bunch of just thoughts about what to think about prior to leaving the military, whether it's downsizing your house and figuring out relocation, if you're looking for job stuff, if you're trying to get back into school, if you're trying to get enrolled in TRICARE, For retirees, of course, TRICARE doesn't apply to those getting out after first term, second term, third term. Creating a budget, getting to zero debt as fast as possible. Yeah, a bunch of cool stuff. We wrote it. We published it on Amazon. If you're looking for it, you can find it. It's probably a link somewhere around our channel, or if you just go on Amazon and search Bottom Line Upfront Book, you will find it. If you are not in that position, getting out immediately or getting out within the last year or two or so, and you know somebody who is, be sure to let them know. Let them know we're here. Let them know that they can come on here and ask us questions just as you're doing in the chat. We do this live every Sunday, and we're here to answer questions. We're here to talk about topics. Sometimes we have guests on, sometimes we don't, depending if they show up, if they don't. But yeah,
Dude.
we're here for you guys, all of you, guys and girls.
Yeah. So I just deleted the other links. So be on the lookout for that. Click the one in the middle. If you see 3-4 links, go with the one in the middle. Yes. So Navy Cop just said, hey, now down to 2 links, both route to the live stream. So not sure. YouTube keep things since, yeah. So much for flying cars. You know what, man? Yeah, I agree. They keep me on my toes, right? Hello, Vic and John. Hope you're all right. U.S. Army Grunt. Welcome, dude.
Cool.
We will both have a great day so far. Hey, the day's just started, man. Well, I mean, I've been up since, 5, 6 in the morning. It's always fun. It's like Christmas every day in my house, man. I bought a telescope yesterday. I was just driving around my neighborhood, and I used to have telescopes growing up, in my house. Randomly my dad would show up with one or whatever. And I bought one yesterday. There was a gentleman having a garage sale with these nice items out in his garage, in his yard. So I stopped by, I saw the telescope, picked it up for my kid, and I didn't have the one little lens. So I had to order it. It came this morning. So I got to knock on my door 4 a.m. from my kid. Dad, it's here. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm going to get up in an hour anyway. So it's like Christmas every day. We set it up and he's pissed. I'm like, why are you mad, man? He's like, well, the sun's coming up now. I can't see anything. I'm like, well, let's wait until tonight and then we'll check it out. Right. So always in a hurry, man. Always got to do something. So, but I'm grateful for it. But yeah, the day started at about 4 or 5 in the morning for me. So been up there. I'm on my first cup of coffee. So just give me some grace here, man. I'm getting through it. I'm pushing through it.
But did you see anything? Did you guys see anything through the telescope? Did you pull up anything?
So there are mountains in the background, and I was able to see the tops of the mountains.
Okay.
But that's it. Because by the time we got it figured out and had to try to calibrate it and stuff, I found a video online that said calibrated on maybe a neighbor's roof or something to get all the sights adjusted. So I was doing that, calibrating it. And by the time that happened, then the sun was already coming over, and wasn't able to see much. Tonight, though, I mean, the moon is right there. Tonight, I'll be able to check it out. Let's see. We got some folks up in here. Let's see. We got do you only get 25 cents like Lieutenant Colonel Blue Falcon Cable? Oh my God. I don't know where that 25 cents is coming from. I'm not seeing it though.
Suck it up.
In the middle of 4 is just that's where you want to live. In the middle of 4, that's where the clearance is, right? So in the middle of 4, yes. Just like these cats were making fun of my boiled steaks. They don't like the fact that I boil my steaks in milk. They're like, "What the hell are you talking about, dude? It's so good. Have you not tried it?" No. We don't calibrate on the neighbor's windows, man. on their roof tiles. There's a video saying you calibrate on the roof. Yeah, I'm not that type of creep, man. Or a creep at all, should I say? Brian Hahn, good to have you, buddy. Yes, sir. Yeah. So what I wanted to this is an interesting topic that I'm going to bring up, and I'm sure a lot of folks have their feelings about it. We talked a little bit about it on Raider HQ's channel yesterday, and it was the idea of this fear mongering stuff on YouTube, right? It's like, hey, the world's going to end, whatever, get your VA disability in ASAP because, whatever's going to happen. There are many, and I'm not going to put out any names out there, but there are many YouTube channels out there, military related YouTube channels that talk a lot about this stuff. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. I mean, I've made a couple of videos before because it was genuinely something I was interested in. I was like, oh shit, things are about to happen. Let me make a video on this and talk about it a little bit. But it seems to be kind of like the norm now. Like, hey, everything's crashing down. Get your stuff ASAP. And there was a lot of talk about it. There was a couple of channels that were kind of going, just butting heads about it. And it's one of those things that's like, it got me thinking, yeah, nobody's going to bring you down. How can I word this? It's a matter of veterans attacking veterans, right? It's a matter of veterans butting heads with other veterans. And it's kind of a sad thing to see, right? When we should be kind of lifting each other up, congratulating each other on the channel, on the information getting put out, collaborating more. It just seems like we're trying to tear each other down, and it shouldn't be that way. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? And you won't really find fear mongering hopefully not from our channel. It's just we're just two freaking happy-go-lucky dudes talking to our veteran friends out there and kind of giving updates on the news and what's going on in the world of the vets, with hopefully not a lot of fear mongering.
Yeah,
Nobody got time for that.
I don't know what people's problems are, man. We're out here. I just reached out this morning to, there's another military retirement checklist, I think it's called, on Facebook. I'm in that group too. I'm in a bunch of groups, right? It's not just our group, military retirement group on Facebook. Of course, it's a great group. We have a lot of people in there. We talk about a lot of great things, but I'm in a lot of groups and I'm in a lot of channels, and I'm watching and I'm paying attention, and I'm always reaching out to people. And it seems like a lot of times, in a lot of cases, they don't want to come on the show because they don't want to pull the attention away from themselves. I don't know. Maybe something like that is what I'm kind of feeling. And collaborate, man. Collaborate, share information, be transparent. Let's talk about things and have forums and discussions and talk about this shit, because it's important. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about, Navy cop. It's not about anybody individually. It's about helping and building community and pushing good information out and checking ourselves. Like if we have a disagreement about something, if we're talking about, CFR 38, whatever, and we have a discussion about it, we can go straight to the facts and the sources and look it up and talk about it and discuss it. Be like, oh, okay, this is how I interpreted it. Maybe you interpreted it differently. Let's just have a discussion about it and chat about it so we can better help the veterans that are going to be dealing with this shit later on down the line. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely. And not turning back 84. Put it nicely here. I saw the two Marine YouTubers going back and forth. People in the comments said they need a D-blouse and take it to the tree line. Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, I remember that. And they might have to, activate the black belt McMap, in McMap skills or whatever, combatives, and get in the warrior stance and do those proper break falls as you go forward. I was, John, if you don't know, I was very involved in Marine Corps martial arts when I was younger. So it's fun for me. Yeah. But yeah, they need to, folks just need to squash it, man. It's kind of, and it has to be Marines, right? It's got to be Marines that are button heads. It's, I don't know. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth, man. It really does. Yeah. Navy cop is all, he says, it's all about me. Just ask me, I'll tell you. Brian Hahn says, it's all these veteran channels are trying to sell something or get more advertising. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're all trying to sell something, right? We're trying to sell the book, but not for the reasons. Like if we wanted to sell it for profit, we would sell it for $29.99, right? It's $2.99. So it's not like we're just trying to keep the lights on. That's all the fuck we're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's so when you get to a certain level in like YouTube stuff, and you got brands that reach out to you. You got you start collaborating, you start doing advertising, and then I mean that's exactly Johnson. That's how you kind of keep the lights on, right? That's how you're able to continue on paying for things like software, cameras, or whatever you do, the lighting kits and all that stuff. You're to provide the value for folks. Now, when it gets to be too much, then that's the issue. When it starts overcoming everything you're about, that your channel's about, that's when it becomes an issue.
Yep. Yeah, we totally, at least that's the way I feel like we look at it from that lens of like, okay, if a brand comes up or if a sponsor comes up and wants to do something, like we're either using that directly or we know them directly, or there's some kind of connective tissue back to the veteran community. And if
Mhm.
it's not a good fit and it's not something good for the veteran community, or if we get a couple pieces of feedback from the community, from the comments, from somebody sending us an email about it, like our moral obligation is to drop them, right? Just to go and continue on and move on. There's plenty of people out there giving away money for sponsorships and stuff, and things of that nature. Like, we don't need to sit and mess with somebody who's not lining up with our values and lining up with the values of veterans out there who we're representing. So
Yeah, and it's funny that the amount of emails that we get on potential podcast guests who have nothing to do with military or veteran stuff,
so many.
that yeah, that just want to put their product out there in front of people like, "Hey, I'm a scientist specializes in whatever the hell, and I want to talk about my book," and I'm like, "Man, it doesn't resonate. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I mean, would love to work with you in another space, but as far as this one, I'm not putting you in front of our audience. Sorry."
Yeah. Especially when you send us like 4 emails and the last email is like, "This is the final time I'm going to write you back."
Oh, you saw that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'd be all right.
Yeah.
Not going to die because of it.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, you're not hurting my feelings, man.
Yeah.
You can keep emailing if you want, but that was funny. I read that email. He's like, "Guys, this is the last time I'm gonna get a hold of you." I'm like, "Good. Let me just continue
Congratulations. Let me
clicking and dragging to the trash can."
play my applause for you. God damn it.
Oh man, Brian Hahn. 1 minute of good info, 3 minutes of ads, and that's where the channel has sold out. Yeah. So I will tell you that on the green logbook, I have started to put a little bit of ads in there, only because again, the advertisers and all that. But the thing is, I only work with brands that I believe in, that I connected with. I only want to work with folks that I know. And for one, over on the green logbook, they got to be veteran run, veteran supported, veteran operated, veteran owned, something related to that. I think I told you the story a while back where a mattress company wanted to work with me, and they're like, "Hey, we'd love to be on your channel." The blah blah blah. They sent me over a mattress, which I then ended up donating. But I'm like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. There's nothing really. I mean, unless it's for like somebody who has like a messed up back or something. This mattress, there's no reason for me to push that to my audience. So they're not veteran owned, they're not veteran operated or anything like that. I want to pay it forward to the veteran community, and what better way than to get folks in front of, put the people I'm working with in front of other folks on my audience.
Yeah, and I'd say another thing, like, we want to work with a lot of like veteran-owned businesses. We'd love to work with them. There's a lot of cases they're just not they might be just starting out or in that first 5 years of operation, and they're not to the
Yeah.
point where they're ready to spend budget on advertising and stuff like that, or maybe they're spending their ad money somewhere else. And a lot of people look at podcasting like, you would think today people look at podcasting and like this kind of stuff that we do in the same way
Mhm.
that the Joe Rogans and the Tim Ferrisses and like those guys do it. Like, they're talking to large audiences on a weekly basis. And our audience is pretty big, but it's not super huge. It's not gigantic. But I think a lot of the cases is some of those veteran-owned companies or even the nonprofits, right? They just don't have the means to be able to pay for advertising. So we just kind of mitigate in between and like bring them on the show and talk about what they're doing and try to get them some exposure either way. I feel like the serendipitous kind of magical stardust that happens in the background on those acts of kindness of trying to help out other people without the intent of getting something in return. I feel like that pays itself back tenfold eventually. Like you might have to wait a little bit, but eventually like those kind of gestures will be better received in the universe than just trying to do one for one kind of swaps for things in a lot of cases.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I'll tell you, this week I had a gentleman, a former Marine, reached out to me to ask about YouTube. He's like, "Hey, how do I get this thing started? I want to," he's got good info. He's got something, small following, right? But like on other channels, but he's like, "I want to start this YouTube thing. I just need to know how to do it. Talk to me about thumbnails. Talk to me about everything I need to know." And I'm happy to pay it forward. I'm like, "Look, dude, here's what I did to help me out. Like we don't need to butt heads or anything like that ever, because for one, I know the guy. But here's what helped me out. Here's how to look at SEO. Here's how to look at your thumbnails. And then I've done reading on the psychology behind the thumbnails and the colors that attract people towards them, right? And I try to, if you look at my stuff, I try to mess with those every so often and see what works, what doesn't. So we sat down and we actually talked for a little bit, and I was happy to pay it forward. I was happy to help him out, man. It was actually a fun conversation, and I learned a little bit myself. Like, oh shit, I never realized this or that, But it's great to help, to champion someone, to help lift up their new channel, their starting channel, and once he gets it up and running the way he wants it to, I'll give him a shout out. So that way you don't see like the whole in the works process, behind the scenes stuff that he's trying to work the kinks out on.
I feel like a lot of that's missing in a lot of cases. I mean, honestly, the behind the scenes, the kind of BTS info and stuff like that. And I know you do a lot of, not really behind the scenes, but a lot of extra curricular like shorts and stuff like that on the Green Log book as well. I was looking back through the library just a couple of days ago, trying to figure some stuff out and look at some stuff, and I ran across a couple of the first couple videos that I did whenever I got the channel started a long time ago, a few years ago. And one of them was like a 10-minute video, and it was just me taking a walk with the camera, like taking a walk around the neighborhood. I was actually in Germany at the time, just taking a walk around the neighborhood. You could hear the cars going by, but you could hear my voice really well. And I felt like it was a video that could have been edited down a little bit shorter, of course, and more to the point, but it was also very just raw and real. And I like the fact that it was unedited, that it was just me talking to the camera, me having a conversation, me sharing my thoughts about stuff. It was about jobs and about job search and about working remote and stuff like that. It was interesting to see that, and then flash forward to today, what we're doing. And like, I mean, the production value is a little bit higher, but still it's pretty, like we said in the beginning, pretty straightforward live streams, even the pre-recorded stuff sometimes.
Yeah, and I think the more polished stuff, from what I've been seeing on say like YouTube and all that, like some of these channels that talk about how to build your channel and all that, a lot of it these days is around authenticity. How authentic can you be? Like your real life, what does that look like, instead of it just being super polished and constant ins and outs? And I think about it sometimes. I'm like, should I just leave all my stuff on there, not unedited? But then I'm like, I'm over here like swatting the dog away and calling my kids in the background, hey, and then like you chop that up and then you continue talking, looking out the window at the Amazon person coming up to the door. So I do cut a lot of that stuff out, but there is a level of authenticity that I think a lot of us crave when we're watching these videos, at least nowadays. It used to be very polished, and I think now it's heading towards a more authentic kind of one-on-one conversation with the viewer. Good morning, the unsung veteran. Good morning. He's got a pretty good channel as well. If you haven't gone over to the unsung veteran, he's got a good channel interviewing folks, veterans as well. So definitely check him out. Shout out to him. Let's see what we got here. Somebody asked about, I think it was just one of those joke freaking comments, man. Somebody was talking about how to, like a squid farm or some crap. I don't know what the fuck what the hell am I reading? What the fuck is this? It is a joke one, right? Let's talk some shit real quick. Hello, I'm a dolphin trainer from Nebraska. Okay. Where? Okay. I have recently started this. Yeah. The coast of Nebraska, right? I have recently started a squid farm, but my squids are very upset. Do you have any advice on how to get them happy? Quarter cup of goat's milk. We just boil them. Delicious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know how to make me happy with squids. You just chop them and put them in the grease and make calamaris.
Oh yeah, man. When I went to Greece at one point, speaking of Greece and speaking of squid, right? I took a trip to Greece at one time, and I went to we took a little boat somewhere, and I can't remember where it was. It was by this little coast, but they had these squids, or it might have been octopus. I can't recall, but they had them like kind of stretched out in the sun. Have you ever seen that?
Yep.
Yeah, and then we went to a little restaurant right down the street. It was delicious, man. Delicious. Let me see here. The unsung veteran. I agree that authenticity is better. I also do not have time to do pro production edits. Yeah, man. Who's got time for that, dude? Nobody.
Editing takes a long time. People don't realize that. Getting back into your, I'll just shoot you this amount. I'll just shoot it to you in the thing. If there's only like 5 or 6 blog posts on here, but it's a quick, like startup on getting back into astronomy or getting back into telescopes and stuff like that. Astronomyscopes.com. Astronomyscopes.com. You'll find all your astronomy stuff at astronomyscopes.com. If you just check it out, might be able to get
astronomyscopes.com.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 blog posts on there. It's got like a little star map on there.
Yeah. Cute. No, I'll check it out, man. Definitely. Astronomyscopes.com. Yeah, I used to be very interested in it. And when I go out of my home, I do walks and stuff at night sometimes. And, you can clearly see like the dippers and all that stuff and the connections. The stars, the way they're connected and all that. It's very cool to see. I just don't know what the hell I'm looking at half the time. So,
yep. They do have a couple good apps too. You can get on your phone that you can just point them up at the sky, and it'll give you like an augmented view of what's up in the sky, what you're looking at. So if you're looking at something that's really, really bright, and you're like, oh, that could be a planet. It's probably like Venus or Mars or something like that, and you can just pull it up on your phone, point your phone at it, and you can figure it out.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out, man. Want to give a quick shout out to Josh CPNW, Josh Cantrell from MVMT Financial. Excuse me, MVMT Financial. He says authenticity is key. So I just had Josh on, did a live stream on, I think it was Friday, might have been.
Yep.
Very well received. I mean, Josh knows what he's talking about. And we had a great conversation about TSPs and money. And I asked him about the top 3 things that he would do if he was leaving the military today. And he had mentioned number 1 is, or the top 3 Josh moves that he would make if he was leaving the military today, if he was going to retire in the next 5 years, I should say. And number one was get out of debt, get completely out of debt. Number two was stack cash, something like $25 to $35,000. And number three is sit down with a financial pro to know where you're going, know where you are, and know where you're going. And three solid pieces of advice for anybody looking to retire, or even if you're already retired and you're looking to, just if you have a goal, maybe for further retirement down the road in your 60s, or even if you want to have like a trip planned or something like that with your family. It's a good, solid piece of advice. Probably the biggest one is get out of debt, man. Number one.
Oh yeah.
That is, you don't want to start a second chapter of your life owing somebody money, dude. That's like the worst feeling.
Yeah, debt free is the way to go. And by debt free, of course, you're going to be carrying, like we've talked about, if you carry a house note, maybe you might be carrying a car note, but if you can avoid that. Because those are sometimes higher interest rates. But yeah, as much as possible, get out of debt. And if you do carry credit cards, like use it for a purchase or two, pay it off. Use it for a purchase or two, pay it off. Like that kind of builds credit, as long as you have that. If you have that credit card and you feel the need to have it for emergencies or whatever you feel the need for having it, we're not saying get rid of it. Of course, we're not the financial experts. Josh is the financial expert. He's right there in the chat if you want to ask him any questions. And he also comes on the channel many times a year. And yeah, good dude.
Yeah, Josh is the man, dude. I learn so much every time I talk to him. We talked a little bit about crypto, tax exemptions, student loan forgiveness. I asked him about the craziest financial scenarios he's seen, and if you want to see it, go on the video. It's on the channel. So it's a lot of good stuff, and I uploaded it in order to get it chopped up into shorts. So you're going to see good little nuggets coming out on the channels throughout the week. So hopefully that'll help out with a lot of stuff you might be going through. Let me see what else we got going on here.
The Unsung Veteran, you are now at 40 subscribers. You're welcome, sir. Just subscribe for
right
both
on.
channels. So
Autumn. Awesome. I said autumn. Awesome.
Autumn.
Yeah. Autumn, right? Yeah. Everybody in the chat, go and sign up for the Unsung Veteran. Go smash that subscribe button on that man's channel. That dude is, he's putting out some good info, some good stories. There is
on our channel yet?
No, he hasn't. So there is an art of the storytelling. So I was looking at this yesterday, and I oftentimes, what I do is, if I'm not like sitting down at my chair or on the couch, writing something, I'm watching something or reading something. Excuse me. I'm writing something down, and I'm watching maybe some kind of YouTube video where it just kind of resonates with me a little bit. I watch a lot of storytelling stuff. And I'm going to sign up for a storytelling course here nearby where I am. So I was doing some research on addictive storytelling, and there's a couple pieces that go along with it, like stimulation, captivation, anticipation, validation, affection, and revelation. And I can't remember this gentleman's channel, or else I would give him a shout out. I don't know that he needs a shout out. He's got like hundreds of thousands of freaking subs or whatever. But as I'm going through it, I'm like, a lot of it has to do with the way we perceive things, the colors, the person speaking to you, how well, their cadence is, their pauses, their inflections in voice, things like that. So very curious, man. And that is something that's very sought after. If you are a good storyteller, man, you are, you can be potentially very sought after by companies, by organizations, if you want to be a speaker, because that's what they're looking for. Somebody who can share the story, not just of your story, the company story. And it just, I've been, that's been my thing recently, just watching storytelling videos and reading about storytelling, stuff like that. Oh, you shared unsung veteran stuff. Okay, good.
Yep. And
Nice.
unsung, I don't know, not on my side. Hopefully not on my side. Unsung veteran. For you, sir, unsung veteran, or anybody else out there who is potentially getting out of the military, got out of the military recently, and would like to share your story, since we're talking about storytelling. It's part of what we do here as well. We try to tell the story of your transition from military to civilian life. We like to do that a lot. It's always educational for us. If you are interested in coming on the show and you've got a camera and a laptop and a laptop with a camera and hopefully a microphone. But even if you don't, we are willing to take you in, and it's pretty simple. Just shoot us an email if you were wanting to tell your story. You had some really wild up and down rides, or you got out of the military and relocated to the Philippines or something crazy, or even not, even just regular stuff. And you've got some insight into the military transition from military to civilian. We'd love to connect with you. Just shoot us an email. It's right there on the screen, info@militaryretirementpodcast.com. And we will get back to you and we will answer you. We do not use AI to answer our emails yet.
Yeah, so I see a whole lot of folks jumping on and subscribing to the Unsung Veteran. Awesome. Get on that dude's channel. Love it. I love it, man. Each one, teach one, and he's definitely doing the damn thing. Can you hear that?
Yes. Sounds like somebody building a clubhouse
real quick, man.
Nah, don't worry about it. I mean, it's a little tick in the back. It's like a clock tick.
Well,
especially if they're building stuff with Legos.
No. That's the neighbor down. It's so loud that it's one of the neighbors down the road, or next door, really, past the yard, doing something. I'm about to go over there and with my hose.
Email info@militaryretirementpodcast.com. info@militaryretirementpodcast.com. One more time, info@militaryretirementpodcast.com.
Don't be sending us no weird stuff now.
Yeah, don't send us no weird shit, because we will block your ass quick, fast, and in a hurry.
We've gotten some weird emails. Don't be sending us no weird stuff.
Just tinnitus, the song of my people. That's my favorite song, actually. It's on my best Spotify playlist, tinnitus playlists.
So yeah, I drown that stuff out with I use, not sponsored, right, but I use the Calm app. They had like some kind of student discount, and it just keeps going for whatever reason. So it's like almost nothing. But they have like wave sounds, and I listen to rain sounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I live in SoCal. It doesn't really rain out here, right? It's more of a desert landscape. But I do listen to rain sounds, and that seems to drown out that sound. You get that tinnitus sound, just in the back of your mind, the back of your head.
Oh.
Yeah, so it helps.
I haven't found a way to drown it out yet. But I do go to sleep with nice quiet sounds like that, babbling brooks and things of that nature.
Yeah. I listen to when I listen to the rain sounds, I got it in my mind when my wife had mentioned it sounds like bacon sizzling, and now I can't get that out of my head. I'm like, shit, it does sound like bacon sizzling, you know. So I got to switch it up to something else and then come back to the rain sounds after. Yeah, nothing beats a cheap fan. There you go. I like that. Unless that fan is up top and it's like making the little tick, tick, tick noise, then you got to adjust a little bit. Tinnitus is loud, ringing since 1981. Holy shit. Nothing seems to work. Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the way around that is, man. If I had the answer, I'd be a rich man, I suppose. But
yeah, makes for a great T-shirt, though. Tinnitus University, ringing since 1981. I like that.
Is that a thing? Is that, or did you just make that up?
I just made that up. That could be a thing.
Trademarked.
Somebody needs to go make that and send me a shirt.
Trademark it now. There was my kid. Let me see if this actually exists, man. So, talking to my kid about universities, colleges, and he told me one, and he's like, "Look it up; it exists." Oh gosh. No way. This has got to be a spoof. Squidward Community College.
Is that a thing?
I mean, they've got an address. Squidward Community College, like the SpongeBob Squidward.
Yeah.
It's so freaking stupid, man.
Nah, that's a bullshit site because I can see the menu.
It's got to be
totally bullshit. Just somebody threw that up there. Yeah. It's
okay, good. Because I was going through my kids getting offers from like colleges and stuff like that. He's like, "Dad, I'm thinking about going to Squidward Community College." And I looked at him. I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he pulls this thing up. I was like, "Hell no, dude! Get that."
Where the clock of evolution ticks backwards.
Is that what it says?
That's what it says. Not approved.
Yeah. Oh god.
I do have some updates on
38
CFR if you want. We can
jump
into those real quick.
Let's do it, man.
So I'll just read these off and see what everybody thinks. So if you didn't know, CFR, Title 38 CFR, or 38 CFR has been updated recently. And updates including ratings for genitourinary cardiovascular systems 2025 COLA increase of 2.5%. I believe it's actually 2.8%, right? Can you fact check me on that?
Right, what was it? One more time. Sorry.
The COLA increase, it should be 2.8%, correct? Or is it 2.5%? This might be misinformation here. And refined, restricted 2.8. Yeah, so let's just go with 2.8. Also refined restrictive M21 TAC 1 policy guidance on allergic reactions as of late 2025, early 2026. Revisions also target caregiver stipends and tighten criteria for service connecting congenital or developmental defects. So key policy updates: cardiovascular and genitourinary systems, updated rating criteria to reflect modern medical terminology, including new diagnostic codes for cardiovascular and genitourinary conditions. Let me actually E38 ECFR, I think it is, right? Is that how you get to the digital one? ECFR.
Yep.
ECFR.
I just put the link in the comments.
Yeah, cool. So if you're looking for the 38 CFR, it should be updated already. But the ECFR is where you can go through and look. And then there's also the Veterans Knowledge Base. I forget what the actual address is. Veterans Knowledge Base. I don't know if they've updated anything on there. But that's also a great place to look if you're trying to find some information quickly. You can dig through there. Second one is mental health and physical conditions. The VA is in the process of updating rating criteria for mental health conditions to be based on functional impairment rather than just the symptoms. They've been talking about this for the last, I guess, couple of years, and they're just now getting around to updating these mental health and physical health condition ratings within the 38 CFR. Allergic reactions in M21 TAC 1 updated. Recent manual changes indicate that seasonal acute allergies that resolve upon removal of the allergen may not be considered service connectable, even if they first appeared during service. 2025 COLA increase, of course, we said 2.8, effective January of this year, should be. Caregiver stipend changes, updated regulations regarding the calculation of monthly stipends for primary family caregivers based on the level of care needed, from 0.25 to a 1.0 multiplier. Congenital developmental conditions, new guidance limits service connection for congenital or developmental defects, refractive errors of the eye, and personality disorders. So yeah, there's been some updates to the 38 CFR and the M21 TAC 1 recently, 38 CFR specifically. If you're looking for those updates, just go on the ECFR link that we've dropped in the chat, and you can find what those updates are. And they're not there to take away, make rating harder than it was before. I feel like they're there to just kind of actually make the process more transparent and make it a little bit more concrete versus what it was before. There's always updating stuff. Medical stuff changes all the time either way. So it's good that they're updating this stuff. Whether it benefits you or doesn't benefit you, I kind of look at it from the holistic point of view of, does it benefit veterans overall in general, as a community versus just individuals?
Yeah. So along with that, I'm glad you brought up those updates too, because I would say that put these links in your bookmarks when you get a chance. It's good to do your own research on all this stuff. If you are getting overwhelmed with what you're watching online on YouTube, hearing people's opinions on maybe how things are going, how they may affect you, things like that. It's because if you like to live in that world and like to watch it, that's fine. But it becomes overwhelming for me, personally. So I don't like to watch all these videos on that. I like to do my own research. You can even plug it into like Chat GPT or something. What updates are there for 2026 or as of February, whatever the date is, 2026, and figure it out that way. So that way you're not kind of getting that anxiety built up inside of you from hearing other people, other YouTubers or TikTok or whatever you watch, their opinions on things. So again, I say, if nothing has been signed, if nothing is put into law and nothing has been signed yet or passed, it's just talk. So don't listen to speculations from other people's behalf, because you don't have to worry. You don't have to build up your anxiety over that stuff.
Yeah. It's nothing to be anxious about, really. I mean, I was reading a couple posts today as well, this morning as I was doing my morning reading, and it's another topic that came up about being anxious about getting out of the military, trying to figure out what you want to do, and some ways to kind of combat that depending on who you are and what your emotional makeup is. But it's not bad to be anxious. It's just bad to live your life in a state of anxiety constantly.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You need to be a little bit anxious about things. You need to be a little bit fearful of things. And that's kind of like my North Star that points me in the right direction and makes me know where I'm going and heading in the right direction. But living day to day in a constant state of anxiety is not good. I would say go reach out to some organization, reach out to the VA, reach out to your medical practitioners, find somebody to talk to kind of lower that general anxiety, at least. And then the regular day-to-day kind of anxious stuff, take it in stride as much as possible. Try to set yourself up in each of your days, at least once a day, to self-induce anxiety, and then have a thought out plan of how you're going to actually deal with that, whether it's just the most minute thing, like, oh, I forgot to lock the door, and then drive away from the house for about 2 minutes and then drive back and lock the door, and try to deal with those kind of things forced upon yourself. And that way you're training like you're fighting, right? Just like we do in the military, train like you fight.
Yeah. There's no use in getting all that anxiety built up when you've already served in the military. You've already potentially been in some sketchy situations. There's no reason that you should be in that situation after you leave the service, right? Now it's your time to kind of decompress, take care of, number one, yourself, those around you and your immediate circle, your family, your immediate friends, if you will. So yeah, that's a big reason why I had to take a break from all this YouTube stuff a while back. Like it just reading all the news, and I don't know how people do that. Like I don't know how people live in that. You can
I don't.
only you can only hold so or intake so much information up here before it starts becoming overwhelming. And for me, it was like I had to just pause everything. That's when I took social media off the phone. That's when I just kind of went dark online for like a week. And that's when I got an email as well, like, "Hey, checking in, everything all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, everything's great. I'm good over on the green log. Everything's good. Just taking a break." And sometimes you need that, and that's my bad that I didn't put it out there like, "Hey, I'm all good. Don't worry, just taking a quick breather." But sometimes we need that, man. Um, Ronan, bruv, my man. So Ronan is starting his own channel as well. Welcome
Nice.
to the channel, dude. He's got his channel. He's trying to do VRE, Veterans Readiness and Employment Channel, since he mentioned he's going through that as well. And I told him, "Hey, look, all the more love going your way, dude, because I'm about to use it myself. John's using it. I think we are well versed or well equipped, should I say, to be able to speak on that portion. So Ronan, bruv, whenever you want to start that, man, let us know."
Yeah. I mean, if you wanna dip your toes in and see if it's right for you, just come on the show and just ask us the questions, and we'll have a live discussion about it and talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll get you kind of in the groove, and then you can figure out where you want to go from there. But yeah, man, absolutely. Good morning to you. Any
Got a
advice
question
on?
any advice on getting over the shame and going to a VSO and talk about disability claims? Thanks for what you guys do. Well, I appreciate it, Tyler Ladd. Getting over the
Hmm.
shame. So if I understand it correctly, so you need to put in a claim, right? Disability claim. I mean, if it's something that you need to do because you feel you rate it, um, it's just taking that step forward, man. I mean, that lives in your head, I think. The shame. I mean, it's gonna once you put in that disability claim, and once you start seeing what it could do for you, say you whatever your injuries are, your service connected injuries, you may rate something from that. Um, a whole new world will open for you. You have a little bit more income there that will assist you in your daily life. I think it's just a mental block, man. It really is, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, if you legitimately have documentation about medical stuff that happened in military service, and you're putting that stuff into a claim to file it, by all means, I would for sure consult the VSO. Even if you're not going to use the VSO, at least go sit down and talk with them and find out, and figure out what they think is best. All they got to do is look at your medical records, do a quick little once over with their little checklist, and they can break it down for you and tell you what's available, what's not available. They may add some stuff on there, but there's a lot of things that are secondary to the main cause kind of medical conditions, right? There's medical stuff
Yeah.
that happens, like say your back, for example. The back can have multiple secondaries, right? Sleep apnea can have multiple secondaries. So I would just be true to yourself with what you know for a fact that's messed up or jacked up or you've been seen by a doctor for. Put that in your claim and then go from there, man. There's nothing to be ashamed of, really. You're just following up with the government, doing what's right for you. It's like going to promotion, right? It's kind of like going to a promotion board. Like, yeah, you got a first line leader that's going to take care of you and kind of give you like little hints that's kind of your VSO along the way. But at the end of the day,
Mhm.
you got to do all the paperwork. You got to go sit in the boards. You got to go study. You got to go get your uniform pressed. You got to do all these steps to be able to get to that point where you can get to promotion, right? The VSO in that case would be your first line leader or whatever. I would look at it from that perspective. Like you're just taking care of yourself to get to that next level of retirement or veteran status that you're going to be in, or you currently are in after military service.
And I will say that it can be a little awkward when you go to a VSO because they're not a doctor, right? They're a
No.
person that does your claim, but they have access to all your records too. So it's like they're kind of going through it with you. And I take it from the perspective of when I did mine and I sat down with the DAV rep, kind of going through all my stuff. It was a little awkward at first, that they got to see all that and they're privy to all that information. But it's a part of the process. I mean, until we figure out another way where they can't see that and it cuts out the face-to-face portion of it, then we're not there yet, I don't think. But it's a matter of taking care of you and your family. If you have a family, you got to take care of number one and those around you. And this is a step forward towards it. Peace and Healing 88. I would love to use it, but it's so hard to get the VR and E people to answer. Yes, I will second that. Peace and Healing 88. So the way there was a time, probably about a month or two ago, where I could not get my counselor to answer. I was in the same boat. And you have to understand that these counselors are very overworked, right? We call them counselors, but they're like case managers, right? And a lot of them have like several hundreds under their belt right now on their caseload. So, I mean, you got to kind of meet it with a little bit of respect and grace, right? Because they are, I believe, a little overworked. And that's a big reason why, John, we just talked about it. The VA sent out the email saying that they're hiring 300 more for that reason, because they want to spread the load a little bit.
Yep.
But what I did when I didn't hear back for like 2 months, and I probably sent like 5 emails, and I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? I went ahead and emailed the initial person that I spoke with. Now it's silly when I think about it, because they only have one email. It's like eva@va.org or something like that.
Yep.
But what I did was I addressed it to the person that I spoke with initially, not my actual counselor. I'm like, look, I really am trying to move forward with this. Just don't know how to get a hold of my counselor. And from there, I don't know what happened. It sparked off something. And then I heard from my counselor that same week. So that may work. But it's silly that it all goes to one email. Even like my own counselor has a phone number on their email signature. The phone number doesn't work. It says it's disconnected. I'm like, how am I supposed to get a hold of this person? So yeah, those 2 months were a little bit funny, but I got a hold of somebody like a higher level person and just literally put their name on there. And I guess it routed it to that person. And that's the only way I got an answer back. And that's the only way I'm starting my degree plan, my master's degree here in March 1st. Hey, if there's a way, we figure it out. We figure it out. We don't sit still, man. I got that itch.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be proactive about everything you're trying to do, whether it's turning in VA paperwork for disability claims, or whether it's putting in paperwork for schoolwork and getting VA GI Bill and VA education benefits or work-related benefits, any of that stuff. You got to be proactive with it. Same with the BDD process. Like, it seems like it's straightforward, and you go in there and they just sit down and they fill out all the stuff for you, and then you give them their medical records, and then they just push it off. Like, it's not that straightforward. You got to stay on people's butt. Just like anything you're trying to accomplish in life, you have to be proactive about it, and you have to check back up on it. And it sucks. It sucks. Trust me, it sucks. I understand. Because I don't like babysitting people either, and I don't like following up with people all the time either. But if you want it, that's what you're going to have to do. So,
yeah, that's a lesson learned, I guess. Right? Nobody will do anything for you. You got to do it yourself, and that's something that is kind of hard to swallow a little bit. when you're leaving the military, when you're outside of the military, because when you are in uniform, I remember it. It's like, hey, if you're behind on your, shots, immunizations, whatever it is, your leadership will tell you. There's an email that will come out from the CO on down, trickle on down to your OIC or whoever, like, hey, they're having an immunization thing, you're due or whatever it is, and your NCOs, staff NCOs, whoever it is, will let you know, hey, you need to be here. You need to take care of this. You're delinquent on this. You're on this roster, whatever it is. There's a lot of hand holding in the military for a reason, right? They want to make sure that everybody is mission ready. You got to go, hey, you're a class 4 dental. You got to be class 1 or whatever it is. You got to go to dental, whatever. You're on this Excel spreadsheet that the CO sent out. When you leave the service, nobody's doing that for you. Nope. You got to be your own advocate for stuff. So yeah, just remember that. Just remember that. It was kind of hard for me at first. I'm like, yeah, everything's pretty much done for me. I'm in this cushy little bubble. I'm being told when my chow time is, when my lunch time is, 11:30 to 1, I think it was. That's a hell of a lunchtime. Nobody else gets that kind of lunchtime.
Nope.
When I went to federal service, they were like tracking me like, hey, Victor, you get, a 30-minute lunch here and you get 15 minutes, 50. I'm like, what the hell is this, dude? Like, I didn't like it, because I was so used to just walking around, just like, hey, with my mug, hey, how's everybody doing? Whatever, and then going back to my office, doing what I got to do, going into the training, do whatever I got to do. I did not work well with, hey, you're restricted to this, so you really got to learn that stuff.
Yep. I still don't work well with
it. Dude, I had a conversation the other day about it, and there's a lot of positions open right now for a lot of things that I was looking to do a while back, a lot of veteran positions. And I thought to myself, it's like, I don't know that I want to be stuck somewhere for a 9 to 5 again. I don't know that I want to do that. It's almost like, hey, I've seen the light of what could be and what is. And I don't know that I want to be stuck there. Now, there's a lot of things that align with my mission, but I'm like, can I just like not do it in like an office? I would love to support your mission, but can I just not do it in an office? Let me see here. Ronan Bruv, he says, he's a little hack I discovered. I see a psych at the VA. Anytime any process slows down and I get anxiety from it, I bring it up in a session. Usually my doc will call for referral. You sneaky little. No, that's I mean, if that works. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You slide that in there. Because it is. I mean, it's not that it's a hack. It's more so like, hey, it's delaying the process in your well-being. Yep. So if that's the case, you let it be known. I think it's not a hack; it's an actual thing. You're doing the right thing, I think, to get things moving again for the sake of mental health. Yeah, that's a huge thing. So I was, I don't know if you watch comedy like on Netflix or anything.
I do. I actually just watched the recent released Cat Williams comedy special, and then I watched another one that just came out not too long ago. It was Dave Chappelle, but I hadn't seen it before, so I was like, okay, we'll watch that too.
That's exactly the one I was going to bring up, Cat Williams. I was watching it last night. That shit had me rolling, dude.
He's one of my favorite comedians.
Yeah,
one of my favorites.
He's like, my spine was strong. I won't bring up why his spine was strong at the end, but it was freaking hilarious. But he had a lot, I don't hear it a lot from folks, but he had a strong message on mental health on there. He's really like, strong. Make sure you're okay up here, because if you're not okay up here, then nothing else is going to be all right. He was talking about how your brain is all cholesterol, and I like how he calls people out. And then he's like, I'm just going to leave it at that, but he calls them out on crap that they're doing, He's got like the whole P. Diddy thing, R. Kelly thing, the Shaq and Usher and all that. It's hilarious, man. If you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. That dude is hilarious.
Yeah, my wife doesn't necessarily like comedy shows, but that one she really, 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 she was like, "Who's this guy?" She's like, she'd never seen him before. I was like, "Yeah, this is one of my favorites from back in the day, and he's making a new comedy special, so I got to watch it." Same with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
Same.
Dude, story about Cat Williams. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, my 25th birthday, we rented out the VIP in downtown San Diego at this nightclub.
Okay.
Right. A bunch of my friends, so like everybody kind of went in on it, celebration of my birthday and all that. And it was kind of like a surprise thing. And so we got this into the VIP, a nice nightclub. Cat Williams was in the VIP randomly. I didn't know who he was at first. One of my buddies was like, "Dude, I think that's Cat Williams over there." He's kind of in the corner. Bishop Don Magic Juan, if you ever heard of him, he's got he used to wear like a green suit with dollar signs, like the Riddler. Kind of weird. Sean Merriman, that used to play for the Chargers, was up there. Big dude, right? And I knew who Bishop Don Magic Juan was. So I kind of went up there. We were all in the VIP, right? It was like kind of open space, right? And a lady was serving drinks and all that. And I go up to this guy, Bishop Don Magic Juan, and I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, you're Bishop Don Magic Juan. He's like, "That's right." And he had a lady with him.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's kind of like hanging on him or whatever. I had an idea of who this lady might be, the lady of the night, right? If you will. And this is during the time where we had like Motorola Razors, like they were like the flip phones and all that.
Yeah.
This was probably, I don't know, early 2000s. And I'm like, "Dude, you're Bishop Don Magic Juan, man. You got a Motorola Razor, And I'm cracking on him. And this lady's like, "Yeah, but it's got diamonds on it." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's still a Motorola Razor. It's got diamonds on it." And then a buddy of mine took a photo with Cat Williams. He was kind of in the side, and he was like drinking his drink or whatever with his like curly hair. Yeah, It was hilarious, man. That was a great time. Great time. Let's see, when we got Tyler Ladd, 20. "I wish I had a 9 to 5. The post office never sleeps. Night shift at the plant pays so well. $29 an hour to throw packages. Don't throw my packages, man." I've had some messed up packages show up, dude.
Yeah. Hating the freedom.
Navy Cops is back to a 9 to 5 now and hating the freedom I had with being at home. Still need to pay the bills, but feel like I'm losing a ton of productivity time. Yeah, man, that's the thing. I was trying to figure it out when I was doing the job I recently was at. Trying to figure out how I can still record and upload videos while in that job. And it's kind of like I was in a cubicle, right? I had it was kind of like an office cubicle. It was closed off, had a door and all that. All the supervisors kind of had one of those, and like the GS-15s had, the bigger offices. So I was in my cubicle, but you can still hear everybody, around you. It's open air, that type of thing. And so I'd go out to my car to record, but it's like, how often could I go out there? I had to go out there during my breaks, whatever. I'm walking around, but I'm like, I'm not going to record while I'm walking around the office, so it was tough. And I feel you, Navy cop. I did feel like I was losing out on productivity time when it came to like what I really want to do, my mission. And that was a big thing. Like, do I really want to work on somebody else's mission where I can work on my own? And that was the big thing that kind of led me towards attempting to do this kind of full time. The mail people need to calm down. The packages all going to be all bent like they did an elbow drop. I'll be honest, man. I'd probably be doing the same thing. I used to work at a warehouse store like that, and people would mess up the boxes.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked at what's it called? There was two companies, RPS and UPS. UPS was the unionized, which is what it is today. I don't even think RPS still exists, but it was a shipping company similar to UPS, but it was non-union. And yeah, from like 11:30 midnight till 7 a.m. in the morning. And like half of that time you may be waiting just for the trucks to arrive. And then once they arrive, the belt goes and all the packages start coming. And you got to grab them off and load them in the trucks. And it's fast. It moves really fast. So, but they do pay good money. They do pay really good money. Those overnight shifts that someone mentioned, they pay some good bucks. And then you get the rest of your day off. It's nice.
Yeah, it's not bad, huh? Not bad. I wouldn't mind it. So I applied for I went to a VA sponsored workshop, like workshop type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
employment workshop. Can't recall what it's called, but I went there maybe 2 months ago, and they have this program where they have you working for about 6 months, and it doesn't pay much. I can't recall why I went to this workshop. I was just curious about it, really get information for the channel, all that. But they pay you like, I don't know, it's like 16, $17 an hour, and you do this manual labor, right? Like it's like groundskeeper at the cemetery, the veteran cemetery, or some kind of warehouse thing or something. So I mean, it's good for what it is. I know many VAs out there have it. It's part of their community aspect thing, their community connection thing. Uh, Strictly built for folks who have been out of a job for so long and just kind of need something for their resume to put on there. Like, hey, I have been working for 6 months here, and here's
Yep.
my resume to prove that. And so they asked me, like, hey, so what do you want to do? And I handed them my resume, and they're like, oh, maybe this program is not for you. I'm like, well, I mean, I came over here to find out what it was, man. It's not that I'm above anything like that, but I wouldn't mind going out there and raking some leaves at the cemetery, whatever, keeping it nice. So, but there are programs like that if you're looking to kind of get into build up your job experience if you've been out of work for quite some time. Ask your VA rep and ask them about the job programs that they have, the employment programs, and it can lead you in the right direction. Says I was basically offered my dream job and what would be a good salary, but figured we only have so many days on this earth. I might as well enjoy some of it with my spouse. Yeah. So what are you doing these days? October 2025 vet. Are you guys traveling? Curious. And what was the dream job? You got me curious, all types of curious now.
Yeah. The dream job. It's only a dream job until you get in there and then your dream bubble pops and you're like, this wasn't what I was expecting.
There was an ad that showed up on one of my, it might have been on Facebook or something like that. It was the military is looking to different branches of the military are looking to bring back folks. Like, hey, are you separated? Want to come back and rejoin? And I looked at before you hit the comments, you see the little likes, how many people liked it. Half of them were like little laugh faces, like who wants to rejoin, right? Especially now, which is it's getting a little crazy now. But
no,
I thought, I wonder if they would take me back and still honor my VA status, service connected status. They wouldn't.
I don't think so. Move to Mexico. Oops, sorry.
Oh, just moved to, where is it? Just moved to Mexico where my wife wanted to retire to. I was looking at that myself, man. That's great. You don't have to tell us what part of Mexico if you don't want to, but very curious. There's a lot of little spots around there like San Miguel de Allende or Merida.
Oaxaca.
A lot of nice places. Where's that?
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca has some good food from what I hear. So
Oh yeah.
would love, would love to do a nice little food tour out there.
Mhm.
So automating scripts. Okay, I know nothing of that.
We're about to talk nerd stuff.
Yeah. What? I don't even know. Is make N8N? No idea.
Talking about some nerdy computer stuff.
Yeah. My father-in-law just got a condo in Ensenada. Oh man, nice place, man. Nice place. Yep, Merida. Is it pretty hot out there? I heard it's either that or San Miguel Allende. I heard it gets pretty hot out there. It's hard for veterans to go back into active duty after they got out because the pay on the civilian side is so much better. Yeah, I mean, if you can find some good pay, it can
If
be.
you can find it.
Yeah, if you can find it these days, it can be pretty good. Yeah, it could be pretty good, man. So I mean, there's sites like LinkedIn Jobs. There's sites like Indeed. I've had no when I was applying for all these jobs, I've had no luck even getting past a certain level on any of these sites.
No.
I firmly believe it's who you know. You know, if you connect with these folks, it has to be some kind of connection for them to even think about you. If not, you're just a name on a piece of paper in somebody's inbox, or a name on a resume on somebody's inbox.
Yeah. Or you're 3 levels deep into the recruiters, and they've got to go 3 levels back up to get back to the actual people who are actually doing the hiring.
Yeah, forget that, dude.
No, 108, not bad.
108 in the summer. Oh yeah, it gets pretty hot, man. It gets pretty hot. It's not like Arizona hot. It's like 120, 130.
Yeah.
Hell no, man.
Speaking of Arizona, if you're going to be around the area in April, I can send you the exact dates, but April, I'm going to be down in Nevada for about a week. Probably Las Vegas. So if you're around that area, or I know you go down there once in a while, back and forth. So
you talking directly to me or to the comments?
To you and the comments. Anybody in Nevada, in Las Vegas around mid-April's time frame.
Yeah.
Hit me
I'd
up.
be down to go over there, man. Yeah, that's cool. What are you coming out there for?
Just got to go do some work stuff. Going down there for a week for a conference. So
yeah,
and then I think one more week, maybe in June, but it'll be in Reno, not in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So yeah, let me know, man. I mean, it's probably a little flight from here over there. It's not it's probably what, an hour and a half, something like that. Not bad. Yeah, let me know. I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of Vegas. I almost never go over there. I got family who lives out there, and I never go over there. But if it means hanging out for a little bit, nah, not a problem. Not a big gambler myself.
Yeah, I'm not a huge gambler either. But work purposes, I'll go out. Vegas is nice. The first thing I do when I hit the ground in Vegas, I go walk the streets and just to see if I could find where the good taco trucks are, so I can get some good tacos. Other than that, like the Caesar's Palace and all that stuff doesn't impress me. Shit about all that.
Yeah. If you go to, I think it's called El Gordo Taco. It's a taco shop. It's in a very kind of sketchy area, but I went there a few months back, and hands down, some of the best I've ever had. Even living here in SoCal, man, it's some of the best I've ever had.
They specialize in a specific kind of, like a specific area of Mexico tacos, or they have just kind of a ranging menu?
I think a ranging menu, but the way you order it, you got to go up to the window, like to the counter.
Yep.
You got the people cutting it there, right? Cutting all the meat and stuff like there.
Nice.
And the guy, you just talk to the dude who's cutting. He's like, "What do you want?" And you're like, "Hey, I want whatever, barbacoa or carne asada tacos. Give me 3 of them, or a quesadilla."
Lengua.
and they'll cut it. Yeah, they'll cut it right there for you. Put it on. They ask if you want onions, cilantro, whatever it is. Put it on there for you. Put it on the counter. You go pay for it after. So it's very like kind of quick, but it's kind of, I assume it's like an authentic way to do it, right? Because it's kind of like, hey, you get it and go. You order it and go. So very good, man. I love that place.
Yeah, I love
Tacos El Gordo. I think it is Tacos El Gordo.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, not turning back says, if you guys know, if you use the VA benefits, you can set yourself up pretty good. Like I'm getting my construction management degree and general contractor's license. Building houses is much better. Yes, do it, dude. Get all your benefits. Get that license. Get that education. Folks leave too much crap on the table, man. Too much benefits on the table.
Yeah,
you work for it. You earned it.
If you don't already have the degree and you can get into the so the VRNE program above all the other VRNE is an educational benefit, just put that out there, but above any other educational benefit, if you can get the VRNE and get them to schedule you to do a degree program, use that first before you use Chapter 31 and 9/11 and all that stuff. Use the VRNE first and foremost and see if they'll actually put you into a degree program or not. And if they do, then you've got basically 4 years to knock it out. You don't have to rush through it. There isn't like you have to have a maximum class load and all that crazy stuff. You just do it. And they give you about 4 years and you knock it out. And they also they take care of a lot of other stuff in the background. And you basically get the same stipend you would for 9/11. Like the housing stipend is similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. Do that first
with dependents.
Yeah. But you got to be rated first to use VRNE. You have to have at least 10% rating, I believe, right?
Yeah.
10% disabled and didn't receive a dishonorable discharge to be eligible for VRNE. I'm just reading this out of our book.
Look, and I'll put it like this, man. I'm not big into like the whole fear mongering thing, as I mentioned before, but I will say this. It may sound like one of these fear things, right? But this is coming from, nothing's written, nothing's put out there in writing. Nobody has ever mentioned something like this. I'm just kind of going off of my own gut feeling that VRNE, it is such a good benefit, such a good program that they may look at, again, this is just me, they may look at potentially taking this away in the future because they're going to say, hey, look, you already have your GI Bill. Why do we need to give you VRNE? Why is this a thing? Why are we pushing more money towards this? And especially now that, money's kind of being cut from different places, in order to fund whatever. VRNE is a very good program. If you haven't gotten your foot in the door yet, I'm a huge advocate for it. Anybody that I talk to, even the folks who don't know what VRNE is, I like to sit down with them and just give them the information. Like, hey, look, not just give them the video I made on VRNE, but let them know, hey, look, if you need something, a credential, education, and it's outside of your knowledge base, outside of your wheelhouse, and you need to get educated on that thing in order to move forward into that career field, talk to a VRNE rep, get your foot in the door now before it potentially goes away in the future. So again, nothing written, nothing has been passed. There's no legislation on it or anything like that. This is coming from me knowing that it is such a good program. And there's a lot of money going towards the veteran on this program, through this program. E5 with dependent BAH, they pay for your tuition, and they give you a technology package, potential laptop, printer, all that stuff. Such a good program that I just feel like it may go away at some point. So get your foot in the door now.
And not turning back. Also, as you mentioned, the GC license and any of those licenses that you might need for contracting or electrician or anything like that, like those things can be also granted through the VRNE program. You just got to talk to your counselor, sit down, let them know what you want to do, and then they'll kind of help you map out the path to that. And hopefully they're good and responsive and they get back to you on email and they call you on a regular basis. It's not a simple process. It takes a couple months to get everything put together. Vic knows firsthand as well. It's not an easy process, but once you get everything put in, then it's just a matter of getting them to give you the green light, and then you're off to the races. And a lot of times you can adjust along the way too. Like me, I started off with the bachelor's program, and then I added on my language certificate since I'm overseas, and then I additionally added on the associate's degree that just came along with the bachelor's work that I was doing. So now I'm going to be walking away with 2 degrees and 2 language certificates instead of just 1 degree initially, what I thought.
And there's a lot of these schools out there that do like these dual degree programs. For instance, there's one near me, and they do MBA and a law degree. Now it takes a while. It'll take you like 5 years to do, and it's constant school. But as long as you're getting good grades or whatever, and you're reporting that stuff back that you're going to school, and then you have a hybrid course, and you're actually sitting in class maybe to fulfill that hybrid criteria, that full-time criteria, you're going to get the E5 with dependence BAH, which if you live somewhere like here in SoCal, it's going to be right under 4,000 a month, for that E5 BAH with dependence. So there's a potential there to help you out. I mean, they don't just leave you high and dry with it. It's a lot of money that goes into it. I just hate when folks don't use their benefits. They just let it go away. They just don't use it. And it's like, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yep.
Big ups to not turning back, using VRNE, already enrolled at school at LSU. All right. Right on, man. Good on you. U.S. Army grunt. I will say, if I had VRNE back in '91, I have jumped all over it. So use it my younger vets. Okay, right on, man. What are you bringing up back there? I see something in the works.
I was going to let not turning back know as well. We've mentioned it on the podcast before, but it's worth mentioning again. Since you're in Louisiana, you're not too far away from Georgia. Or at least you're going to LSU. Maybe it's remote. Hopefully it's in person. If you're in the LSU area and you want to get some extra stuff going on, there's a place in Georgia, South Georgia, next to the Air Force Base, which I can never remember the name of, called Georgia Vector, VECTR. And they have a facility set up where they do all kinds of licensures and the technical certifications and stuff for welding, for mechanics, for all those kind of things, the hands-on jobs. That might be another avenue of approach if you want to get some stuff through them. Warner Robins. Yep, exactly. Yep. So Georgia Vector, VECTR. I've been down there a few times when I was living in Georgia. I went down there to check out some stuff on entrepreneurship. Checked out the facility. It was amazing. They had a lot of really cool stuff going on there. A lot of great people there working there. It's right outside the gate at the base. And just a great resource. Sign up for their newsletter if you're nearby. And they have like little coffee and meetups like once every month or once every quarter. So really cool place if you're in Georgia.
Excellent. Old Navy cop grumbles in frustration. He's working with veterans coaching project to see if he can get a better idea of how to reapply. Yeah, I'm not sure how you'd go about reapplying to VRNE. I guess I'd have to do some research on that. But anything to get your foot in the door, man. And let me see, VRNE reapply. Just writing some quick notes here. Appeal. Yeah, it's a little tough because I had mentioned it on an earlier video that though they do fall under like the Chapter 31, it does feel like there is less of a structured method, a structured way to get approved. So when I talk to different people about it, they're like, yeah, my counselor didn't approve me for this, but yet the next person is approved for the same exact thing that they got disapproved for. The other person got disapproved for. So though they're supposed to be following the whole Chapter 31, it doesn't seem like there's a standardized process, which is unfortunate. So yeah, Navy cop, yeah, move forward with that, dude. I mean, get your foot in that door. Says I've done it twice now. First time accepted, bad counselor. Second time denied, bad counselor. May not be able to at this point, but going to push until I can't. I will tell you that a big thing is how you word your your request to your counselor, depending on what you want to get into, your justification. And that's a big reason why I made that video that I did on the Green Logbook side on the justification piece, uh, because I had a candid conversation with my counselor. He was a former Marine as well. We sat down, and we were stationed at different, at the same place, different times. So we just kind of had conversations on that, and I just had just questions about the whole process. Like, how does this work, man? Like, what's the best way forward in this? Like, how do I act, justify this? And, he gets audited as well. Like the people, he has supervisors as well. So they look at his stuff, and he's like, hey, look, man, if your justification just has to reflect this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds good to me. That's what I'm going to put on there, and I mean, it fit my criteria. I put it in there, and that's how I got my foot in the door. And then I made a video about it. I'm like, dude, like foot stomp. I even put foot stomp in the video. Like, maybe you should write this if it actually fits your criteria, your service connected disabilities and all that. Maybe something like this should be added onto your justification. So, for what it's worth, check out that video if you'd like. But I did have a conversation with the VRD or the VSO, and I mean, he kind of spelled it out for me. So that's how I got into that master's program. Oh man, that sucks, dude.
Yep, sucks hard.
A bunch of random links to feel like he did something. Felt really off. Yeah. Again, these folks might be overworked. They have a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know, man. I hate that for you, Navy cop, that you were put on the back burner. Tony Slaughter, welcome.
What up?
Man, let's see.
How far is your book reading going this year so far? You got down to, you're probably in the second book, right? Second or third?
Yeah. So I do this thing where I find another book that I want to get into, and I'm kind of like in between two books now. Again, I'm about halfway done with this one. I usually just read it at night, right? Whatever, Laws of Human Nature.
Yeah.
But then I did pick up this other one, which is really good. It's Notes on Being a Man. Really good. And it's a library book, right? So I can't really write in it.
Yep.
But it's so good that I'm thinking about buying it, because it does talk about, how young men in today's world are put at a disadvantage from what's being put out in society, teachings, like ADHD, it goes through a whole lot of stuff, scenarios and things, about finances, how we're not taught, young men are not taught things to succeed in today's world. So very good. It's from I think this guy is a best-selling author, NYU professor, and co-host of the Pivot podcast. Scott Galloway offers a path forward for men and parents of boys. And I mean, if you have ever followed my stuff, I have two sons, and just trying to raise them the best way I can. But we do sit down and have some hard conversations about things, about finances, about choosing the right path, about following your gut, about protecting each other, things like that, and things that they don't show them at school, really. And I feel like too many parents rely on just school to teach them everything, and I think that's where we're wrong. A lot of the learning, half the learning comes from home life. Home
Yep.
life. If I let my kids be on the video games all day, then I am not being effective as a parent because I'm letting them learn from whatever they're learning online or on their video games. So I do have to sit there and talk with them. I do have to take them out and give them experiences and do things, show them about finances because they don't really show that at school.
No.
And I mean, if you never talk about finances and your first time you're learning about it is when you're in your 20s, then I think that, that's a disservice. Somebody has done a disservice to you. So, and essentially that's the future of the US or wherever you live, right? That's your future, So it's a good book for what it is, man. It's going about quarter of the way done with this one, but I'm kind of skipping between the audiobook and this one. So when I go walk the dog and stuff, it's listen to the audiobook. When I come home, I'm sitting down reading this one, writing notes on it. So, but yeah, this one is once I get done with this one, it'll be my second one done. Yeah, second one done, and then I move on.
So on a 1 to 10 scale, what would you give the Notes on Being a Man?
So far, 1 to 10 scale. Again, I'm probably about 2 chapters in so far. Shit, man. From what I'm learning from it, I'd probably give it an 8 for real.
Okay.
It's really good. It is really good. I try to stay away from when I get a book, I go on Amazon to see what the ratings are. And I'm like, I want to make my own decision on it. So
Yep.
I didn't go on there and check this one out. I started reading or started hearing the audiobook. And then I went to the library and I saw that they had it on the shelf as a new release. So I picked it up immediately. I'm like, oh shit, they got it. But it's been good so far. He talks about his relationship with his own dad, how, his dad was on, he's been married like 4 times, and how his dad kind of pushed him away a little bit. How he had to kind of try to figure things out for himself, seeing his mom kind of struggle a little bit, and how he had to kind of stand up and be the man of his house, essentially. So going from living in a very nice neighborhood in Laguna Niguel, if you've ever been out there, it's like in Orange County,
Yep.
here in California.
Yep.
He had an oceanfront house, and then when his parents got divorced, he had to go move in some apartment inland while his dad moved away somewhere else. So it kind of everything went from this level to this level, and he had to figure things out with his mom. So it was kind of a hard life. It went from highs to very much lows. So very good so far. I'm very, very much enjoying it. Yeah. Tony Slaughter. Society doesn't want men to succeed because it disrupts things. Yeah. I mean, you got to learn the system, man. You got to learn if you remain in a poor mindset, you're going to remain poor.
Yep. Poor meaning fearful or in a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
Not necessarily money wise.
I mean, it can be money wise too, but I mean, that's what I meant, fearful, never figuring things out, always reliant on somebody else for something instead of having that figure it out kind of attitude. So, and money wise as well. I've always, growing up, I never really talked about money. So it was always kind of like a scary thing to talk about, right? Because I grew up with, in kind of a lower kind of middle class type of setting. My parents immigrated here, and we kind of grew up that way. And then it was kind of trying to figure it out. And then nowadays, I have very open conversations with my family on finances. If you've ever read like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, they talk about that, like having open conversations, because the poor dad had was very closed off to it. The poor dad was a professor, the rich dad was a businessman, and he would openly talk about it. Whereas the poor dad, who was very closed off about it, was scared of it. So I'm very, very much so of the idea that if you don't talk about something, then it becomes a fear, especially with money. So I do have open dialogues with my kids, my family about that. How much if my kids want to spend money on something, maybe they got money from Christmas gifts or something like that. What do you want to do with it? Do you want to invest it? There's a potential that your $50 can become $100 if you do this with it. Whereas if you spend it now, your $50 would become $20. And in 6 months, you could have had 100, so I just kind of give them options.
Yep.
Not tell them exactly what to do with it, but tell them what could be. Yeah. Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah. Are boys and younger men at a bigger disadvantage than girls and young women?
I'm really curious about this.
That the book talks a little bit about that, and it talks about the brain development of young men versus young women. I wish I can give a better answer. I mean, I haven't reached that part of the book yet. I've not done enough research on this. But as far as like the expectations of young men and what is being taught in society today, I think that yes, personally, I think that they are at a disadvantage. Just because everything that we're exposed to these days, I mean, there's less and less teaching of actual leadership, and the type of leadership that we do have, that people are exposed to online, maybe is not the best example of leadership, with like all these TikTok things. And I forget these guys' names, these influencers online that try to teach you about, leadership. And a lot of it is about womanizing and things like that. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be more of a protector type of mentality, I think. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, what are we talking about? Seriously. Oh, okay. I was trying to read Navy Cop's message here.
Yeah. It actually, what was that? Paris Kitty? Is that the name? Paris Kitty 777. I'd be actually curious, a little more context on that question itself, and like what your thoughts on it are, and what you've experienced, or where the question maybe comes from, and maybe some context behind the question itself. Be curious to know. I think there are less chances young people get ahead.
Yeah,
I think it's more people just want to get places a lot faster. Really, I don't think it's less chances so much, but I think people want to just get places a lot faster, and they want fame, and they want crowd response, and they want justification for what they're doing a lot more. And it seems like it matters a lot more than the actual work that they're doing, or the actual thing that they're doing. I feel like people just don't give themselves enough space to go deep into a subject, or deep into a type of work, or whatever it is they're trying to do, and actually get really, really good at it, and then go from there. Rather than that, they're just trying to get Instagram famous, TikTok famous.
Yeah. So let me write a quick note here before I forget. So I will say October 2025 that says I think there are less chances for young people to get ahead. As far as like money wise, I do agree with that. Things have, if you look at historically how high prices have gone, i.e. home prices, things like that, your grandfather might have purchased a house for, I don't know, 25,000, 30,000, which now costs north of $500,000 now. In those instances, yes, it's hard for younger folks to get ahead, I think, because everything's more expensive. There's higher expectations, things like that. But the thing is, we can't live in that I personally believe that I cannot live in that mindset. Like, hey, yeah, we can never get ahead here. I got to figure out something my with my what's the word? My situation today. I gotta do something with that. I was even taking it back to Cat Williams yesterday, that comedy thing, right? He's like, we live in America, which you can do anything here to make money, to get ahead. And I thought of that when he said it. I was like, you literally could. I mean, you can start, if, and not saying if I was homeless, I would could start a YouTube channel on my homeless life, for real, like, see how I can utilize that. Um, Not just like sit there and beg. And I mean, that's not the reality for things. That's just what I've exposed to. And I've seen how this YouTube thing could help, could bring something in. And I'm like, okay, well, there's a chance here to make something out of this. So in that aspect, yes, America has opportunities. It's hard for younger people to get ahead, yes, because things are so much more expensive now. If you need to move in with a roommate and pull your money together to pay for the rent, hey, that's what needs to happen. But we just have to have that grit and figure it out attitude in order to get ahead. He said, I want to be world star famous. No, you don't want to be world star famous, man. Trust me. You don't want somebody in the background screaming world star after you did something. The guy who wrote the book, his mom was there to protect him. Yeah. Most men have their heart in the right place and still can't get credit where it's due. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm actually based on your recommendation, purely on your recommendation and this conversation that we're having, I'm gonna pick up the book and read it, but not for me to get a better understanding from my perspective, to get a better understanding from my kids' perspective, because they both kind of went through this kind of situation with the divorce and then moving apart. Like, they were in Europe, I was back in the States. It was, I mean, thankfully it's the era of the cell phone, with FaceTime, with WhatsApp, with messaging, with always being able to get in contact with somebody. But even with all that, it was really super, super difficult to maintain a relationship with my kids, and then going back and forth maybe once or twice a year for a couple weeks at a time to see them, spend time with them. It was really tough. And now I'm starting to see, like, the conversations my son, like my son and daughter are both older. They're in their 20s now. And the conversations that we have now versus the conversations we had back then when everything was going on and it was fresh. And they start to understand more about the dynamics, what was going on. And I'm completely transparent with them about everything. Like, anything they ask, I tell them exactly what was what and what was this and what was that, and try not to take sides and be biased about it and not point fingers, because it's not about that, but it's just about explaining what the situation actually was, at least from my perspective. Yeah, I'm curious to read this book to see the perspective of him as being the kid caught in the middle of all that stuff, because it gives me a better understanding of what my kids went through and what they dealt with. And I'm glad that I was able to keep up as much communication as I was with them, and now it pays off in dividends in the back end. Like, they've grown up to be really great kids and really good kids, and not into a bunch of nonsense and getting in trouble and doing stupid shit. So
yeah, and there's I can't remember the study, the website that I read this on, about men and loneliness, like a loneliness epidemic with men. Nowadays, men are less likely to have a group of friends, right? Because everything's online now. I mean, we do this online as well, right? Like, I consider you, John, a friend. I consider a lot of folks in here a friend, right? But the thing is, we need that personal interaction, maybe sitting around a campfire whatever, talking smack and sharing a beer or something like that, or it doesn't even have to be a beer, it could, whatever. Um, we need that personal interaction. And here, I'll actually read a piece of what's written here inside the cover. Rarely has a cohort fallen further than faster than young men living in Western democracies. Boys are less likely to graduate from high school or college than girls. 1 in 7 men reports having no friends, and men account for 3 of every 4 deaths of despair in America. Even worse, lack of attention to these problems has created a vacuum filled by voices espousing misogyny, the demonization of others, and the toxic wisdom of vision of masculinity. And it goes on and on, but I mean, it's a pretty good topic, because especially if we're exposed to it, we see it, and especially if you have kids and you're trying to raise kids and you're starting to see this. I see what they're exposed to, online. I see the stuff that they watch, and I'm like, hey, maybe we shouldn't watch that. Maybe try to guide them in the right way. If not, they're just going to intake whatever comes, and they're going to be a product of whatever they experience.
Yep.
So you can go in the comments here real quick.
Lots of them.
Yeah. I mean, this is a great topic. I like this topic because I think about the future of like the U.S. Of where things could be, where things might go. And I look at my own sons and I'm like, okay, well, one day they potentially will be taking care of me, or they potentially will be the heads, the protectors of their family, husbands to somebody else, fathers. How are they going to raise their kids? So I think about that a lot. Says, not turning back 84. If I was young and starting out now, I would go to college first and then become an officer of the military. It's not a bad gig, man. It really isn't. The military does show you a lot, especially if you were an officer in the military. You learn how to follow, and then you learn how to lead. You go to things like platoon commanders course and things like that. It kind of forces you, puts your feet to the fire, and teaches you how to lead. Most of the problem also is people try to keep up with the Jones via social media. Breaks the bank. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Take care of number one. Who cares of what the next door neighbor, whoever it is, has? Chances are they're in freaking heavy debt as well, and you may not ever know that.
No.
Yeah, young people have to be driven and go for it. Yeah, 100%, man. Paris Kitty, I'm going to live in a bus with my cats. I'm a veteran, by the way, Air Force. Right on.
Nothing wrong with living in a bus with cats.
No, hell no. I mean, it actually sounds pretty nice now that I think about it.
Travel, get a little relaxed time, get away from the city.
Why not? Cats need very low supervision. I think you throw some food over there, and they're just chill.
Sometimes.
I got one myself, and she could give a damn about me. She looks at me like I'm a piece of shit, and then lays on the couch and says, "Feed me."
Wish mine would do that sometimes.
Let's see. Women have to work with kids. Men feel it's a sacrifice to work without kids. Why? I'm trying to track that question.
I think women have to work while having kids at home, and men feel like it's a sacrifice to work without kids. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on who gets custody, right? I mean, if in a split parenting situation, like in my situation, I didn't get custody, so
yeah. Mo Perspective, yes, men need a close inner circle as well. And Mo Perspective, thank you for coming on. And I've seen Mo Perspective has some very interesting live streams. I've jumped on her live streams before. She talks about something like this, right? About women and mindsets and men and mindsets. And I do appreciate that. So thank you for coming on, Mo. Enjoy my friend time over some coffee and chow. Yeah, man. Like I just had coffee and chow with old Brian Hahn not too long ago. Yeah, exactly. We gotta have our kids. We made them. Let's not go there though. Yeah, we did make them. We got to take care of that. It's it's an investment in the future for your kids to teach them the right way. Yeah, I can go talking about this all day, man, because I do like talking about the fatherhood and raising sons and daughters. And I got one daughter who's in her 20s. I got two sons who are, one's a teenager, one is a little bit younger. Um, but yeah, it when I do hear things that they say, when I do see how their friends act, I do kind of mention like, "Hey, what do you think about that?" I try not to give them the answer, but I'm like, "Hey, what do you think about that?" Kind of, I want them to put on their kind of critical thinking hats on a little bit and let them come to their own conclusion, but just kind of guide them there.
Yep.
So, because if I give them all the answers, they're going to be reliant on me, right? Life is not going to give us all the answers, not going to give them all the answers. So,
Not even half of the
I'm trying
answers.
not to do that with them. What's that?
Yeah. Said not even half of the answers.
Hell no. Yeah, we do. We got to get lunch sometime, Brian. We women make the kids. That's how it works.
True story. Trying to make some kids myself.
I'm done with that portion of my life, man.
Nah, man.
I can't do it.
I think I'm up for round 2. I think I really am.
Yeah, I can. I'll tell you what, man. One of my neighbors has some kids, little kids, twins, and when I'm outside, sometimes I hear him crying in the backyard or whatever, and when he's got his window open, and I'm thinking, damn, it feels good to not have little babies anymore. I'm done with that part of my life, man.
That was my most favorite time with my babies was when they were little. The first 2-3 years.
It's a great time. For sure it is. But man, I mean, I think I'm done with the whole changing diapers and all that. I put it like this. I have a family member who is my age who just had a child, and I'm thinking, okay, well, when that kid is like 18, you're gonna be like near your 60s. I'm like, well, I don't know. I kind of want to be able to travel around with the wife without having to worry about that in the future.
Yeah.
Mo Perspective says she's got baby fever too, John. I can't do it, man. I will hold somebody's baby and then promptly give them back, but I'm good with them. Let's see. Twin father myself, and it's fun, but rough babyhood. Yeah, I can imagine that, man. 2 kids at one time. That's rough. Said no more kids for me. One and done. Just one 13-year-old daughter, just being there for her, and that's it. Yeah, and then wait until you if you got more than one kid around the same age, wait until they start playing sports and stuff and doing everything. And you go travel here, then you go do this. You really got to be on your schedule. So just be aware. I think everybody in the comments here, for the most part, has some kids. At least the folks who are commenting.
Yeah. Yeah. Need that kind of pressure in my life. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah. So great conversation, man. We hit a lot of stuff on here. Started off with, just we were going to talk about some history stuff. Didn't exactly work out that way, but it's all right. We adjusted as we normally do. And then we got into, the book and the conversation of fatherhood, of parenthood, things like that. I think we talked a little bit about astronomy and then opportunities in America, et cetera, et cetera. So, no, all good stuff, man. I really enjoy these conversations.
Yeah, man. It's all about just sometimes just sitting down and chatting. We don't always have to be on some specific topic all the time, but we definitely do cover all the topics all the time. So glad everybody was here. I appreciate all the conversations back and forth in the chat. Glad to meet y'all digitally and hopefully one day in the future meet y'all in person. Would love to meet all of you in person. It'd be great. A lot of great folks here in the conversations with us. A lot of great folks in listening, chatting it up, also in our Facebook group, and just love all the support you guys show to us, guys and girls. And I love the thoughtful conversations we're having, and love to have these conversations over and over and over and over. That's why we're here, trying to get some of this stuff off our chests and enjoy life a little bit, enjoy Sunday a little bit, take a little bit of a break, step back, do something a little different. So yeah,
I love that, man. And I'm glad you loved it too, Mo. Perspective says you guys were all over the place. I love that. Yeah, it tends to be like that sometimes, and that's how this runs in my mind sometimes, kind of all over the place, but trying to bring it back to center somehow. We do have some guests coming up. I think March 1st we got Raider HQ on the calendar. So Raider HQ, if you don't already know, you're going to be on our show. So surprise. So that's what we got going on. If you haven't seen the last video I put out there, I interviewed this guy, Herb Thompson. He was a former U.S. Army Green Beret, retired, and talks a lot of good stuff, man. He's Ivy League graduate from Cornell. He runs a speaking company. He has a lot of speakers, or management company, talent management company. He's got a lot of speakers that he works with. Some of them you might know. You might have seen them. So if you go to his website, Liberty Speaks, he's a good dude. Good dude. He definitely we definitely meshed well in our conversation, and he definitely taught me a few things about his mindset and how things work. So great stuff. Great to connect. Aside from that, actually yesterday I just approved 8 more folks on the military retirement group on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook and you want to jump in and be part of a group that talks about good military civilian retirement stuff, it doesn't matter if you retired or not, if you did 4 years or 40 years, this group is for you. We're welcoming to all. So it's called the Military Retirement Group. I want to give a shout out real quick to our to the sponsors. We got MBMT Financial, Josh from MBMT Financial. Just talked to him on Friday, and he gave some really good information. I'll be putting out some shorts on that shortly. I want to give a shout out to Wild Bill's Craft Beverage Company. That's their sticker there. It doesn't look well on my mug. My mug's too, but whatever. Wild Bill's Craft Beverage Company, awesome, veteran-owned beverage company. Looking to bring on franchisees. So if you're a veteran and you're looking to join a franchise or start something, get a hold of them at Drink Wild Bills. And let me see, what's AMFI. And then I want to give a shout out to American Fidelity Life Insurance as well. Just teamed up with them. If you're looking to secure some life insurance and get that peace of mind for you and your family, they are a good piece of gear. Good folks out there. Really got to connect with them. They have a long veteran history. So American Fidelity Life Insurance, amfilife.com, and they won't steer you wrong. So let me see here. I missed some more comments here. Mo Perspective. We would have a great time if we all ever met. So yeah, I think is it September? It's the Military Influencers Conference.
Yeah, something like that.
I was thinking about heading out that way. We will see. We will see. I know Raider HQ mentioned he would go out there, but he wouldn't tell anybody who he was, which is, kind of lurking in the shadows. So that's funny. Let me see. So I have to guess. I'll just go up to everybody and be like, "Hey, are you Raider? Are you Raider?" Just random folks.
Yeah.
I have to watch that video with the Green Beret.
And
Good. Oh, awesome.
mid-April, mid-June, if you guys are in the Nevada area and want to link up, let us know. I'll be out there. Maybe Vic will be out there. Maybe we'll shoot from there live.
Yeah. Let me know. Because I got to do. I think it's in June. You got to just let me know the dates, man.
Yeah.
I was invited to be a speaker at a retirement ceremony. So I think it's in June or July. Just let me know the dates, and we'll go from there, man. We'll grab something to eat. I don't mind making the flight over.
All good.
It's not too far.
Nah, it's pretty close.
I mean, if I need to make a flight over to Italy at some point, as well, then that's
fine.
I'll figure it out. Good. Well, perspective. I truly appreciate you. Thank you. Legitimate sponsors. That's you just got to work at it. If they resonate with your mission and vice versa, why not? With that, John, it has been awesome. Crew in the comments, it has been awesome. And to everybody out there spreading some good information, if you haven't already used your VA or your benefits, your veteran benefits, please look into doing so. If you don't use them, you're going to lose them. Use them now while you can. So with that, I think that's it, unless you got something else, John.
That's all I got, man.
All right. With that has been the Military Retirement Podcast. Thanks for hanging out.
Enjoy the rest of your Valentine's weekend. See y'all next week.
All right. We'll see you.